Hi guys, welcome to the trophy video. The trophy video will introduce four new kind of things, features, and sketch tools that we're going to use and that will be critical going forward for your DCG student assignment. Firstly, we'll be introducing what's called a sketch picture, which you can see here. We have a picture that we can trace around to get the shape of an object. It's going to be very handy for your DCG project. The next thing we'll be bringing in is with this curve that you can see here. Now that's not an arc or an ellipse or anything like that. That is what's called a spline, and a spline is basically an irregular curve where we can add in, I guess, points, as many points as we want, and we can manipulate the points to mold or to shape around something. The next thing then we'll be bringing in is a feature called indent. You can see that there's these little bits that are kind of sticking into the cup there from the handles. We can kind of use one object to kind of chop or indent another one. And then lastly we'll bring in an important feature as well that you're going to use frequently during a project called combine, where we can combine bodies together into one body, kind of like welding them all together. Okay, so we'll start off here, going on to the front plane, and we're going to bring in a sketch picture. Now, just to let you know, you have to have a sketch picture downloaded. I've supplied them on Microsoft Teams. And there's a decal file as well. So the sketch picture is of the trophy. So what I'll do is I'll go to the front plane, look normal to it, and I will immediately sketch a center line like I normally do, up the middle, up the center like that. And I will go to insert, tools, sketch tools, and we're going for sketch picture. So the sketch picture is something that we can trace around. Okay, so that's very important. I'll do it again. We have tools, sketch picture. Now I have mine docked there. I was able to add sketch picture into it. Just check, it might be in your sketch tools, it might not be, more than likely it won't be. So I'm going to bring in now my trophy sketch picture here. Okay, so you have to download that from Teams. So I'll click open and it brings it in. And what I want to do immediately here is I want to turn off this blue bar here called scale tool. I don't need that, and I want to click transparency for the full image, and I want to drag it up to about 0.6. okay, what I want to do then is resize it. One thing that I forgot to do there is I forgot to add in a dimension for this line here. So let's just have a look. 245 is to be the distance from distance up the center of the brass part of the trophy. So 245. So I'll just leave the sketch picture there for a second. And 245. And I'll double click the sketch picture to open it back up. And what I want to do here is drag it in such a way that the bottom of the center line is the bottom of the brass part and the top of the center line is the top of the trophy itself. Okay, now sketch pictures involve a lot of estimation and they're not 100% accurate, but they are a good approximation. If you can get a good sketch picture, like a good elevation or a plan of your product for your project, your student assignment. Now, is that going up the center? Yeah, it looks to be going up the center. As I said before in class, you could probably spend all day trying to get these things 100% perfect, but really there's no need. Just get it as close as possible. And I'm going to end that there. Now I'm going to end that sketch and I'm going to call this sketch picture. And I want to have this sketch picture so that I can turn off and turn on like this with the eye symbol, turn off and turn on as needs be. I'll be bringing it back in and out as we go along. I'm just going to click on that there and just bring it a little bit taller. That'll do. Okay. First thing I'm going to do the cup in two parts. I'm going to do this the top part here, okay, and then I'm going to shell it out, and then we'll do the bottom part, which is the stem. So immediately I will go and do a line. So I need to go back and select my front plane again. I'm going to do a line here, straight line, and that didn't work, and I will just drag that out there like so, and I will do another line down the center, and what I want to do is make that 72 millimeters from the origin. Okay, So now we're going to bring in the spline. So here's the spline symbol, it's beside circle. And what I'm going to do here is, you know, everybody's instinct, or most people's instinct, is to start going like this, okay? So I start here and go click, 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 all the way around, and try and mold it as best you can. So I've used about maybe 12 points there or whatever. I'm not going to do that. What I'm actually going to do is a 2-point spline. And watch this. 1 point, 2 point. Done. Now, that doesn't look very curvy, and it's not, but what I can do is I can actually manipulate it. So if I click on a spline, every point has what's called a spline handle, and this is a spline handle here that consists of a diamond, a triangle, and this little circle. The diamond adjusts the length of the spline, okay? Sorry, adjusts the angle of the spline, okay? So watch, I'm just dragging it out there, like so, and I can drag it to meet the curvature of it, okay? Same down here, it's the diamond we drag to get the curvature, change the angle of it. What the triangle does is it actually adds more length to the spline. It's like it gives it more kind of rope. If you think of it like a piece of rope, it actually adds more to it, okay? Don't use it too often, it's more to do with the diamond that we manipulate our spline handles. Now, 2 things I'll do here, okay? I want that spline to be nice, to be perfectly vertical or perpendicular to the top, because that's just the shape of the object, right? So we can add a relation to that there. Over here to the left, I will go vertical, and it's locked into a vertical position. Down here, I want it to be completely horizontal, like so. Now you can see we need to do a bit of adjustment here. So what I'll do is I might just drag the top of the line over a little bit there. And now I'm going to adjust the triangle. So this, you can see here, it needs to come in. So I have it going perfectly horizontal to meet the axis of symmetry there. That's important. If that wasn't horizontal, when I do my revolve boss base later, it would leave a kind of a point, like a kind of a sharp point on the top of it. Because it's kind of horizontal coming towards the axis of symmetry, it's going to have it lovely, nice and smooth. So what I'm going to do is use the triangle to reduce the length of it there, and I'm going to go back and increase the length of that one. And just between the 2 of them there, we'll just come up with the best approximation. As I said, you won't get it perfect, so I think that's, listen, I'll just go with that there, okay? As I said, you could be working with this all day, messing with it, obsessing about it, and that's it. If we want, we can fully define that. We'll just make it 67. Okay, and there's a bit of flexibility on that there, so it's clearly, it needs to be locked into horizontal. Now, if you're happy with the spline, we can just go up here like this and just go, we can fix them. It's my tendency not to mess with the spline handles, the diamonds and the triangles, because we can actually define them as well. We can put like a smart dimension on the length, that's the length of the spline, and we can actually put an angle as well on the diamond. So I can put in, how do we do that again? There is a way that we can add in, I suppose if you just click the line, how do we do this again? We can add in the angle as well. So we can add in an angle and a length to each spline handle. I tend not to do that. I tend to leave them free in case I need to go back and kind of manipulate them, because if you fully define them, they're locked in and you have to change measurements or delete measurements and stuff like that. So just leave it like that. That's my recommendation. Okay, anyway, I'll end that sketch, and what I'll do is features, revolve boss base, and I'll choose the center line there, and it actually didn't pick it up too well. So it's actually picking up the actually, hold on, just try that again. Revolve boss base, I'm going to click that there, and my axis of symmetry, I'm going to choose that there. Okay, so that's a better way of doing it. 360 degrees blind, grand, that's done. Now the next thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shell it out. So shell to a depth, we'll try 1 millimeter. I think the guide says 2, so we'll just go with 2. Select the top surface, shell it downwards. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, now just to kind of explain, and I'll show you the difference here. I'm going to turn off the sketch picture, okay, for now. We'll just see the way we have a lovely, nice, smooth kind of transitioned curve there on the bottom. That's because I let the spline handle be horizontal at the bottom. Now if I go back in and edit that sketch, watch what happens now. I'm going to take that horizontal relation off, and I'm going to purposely exaggerate the angle of the spline handle there and end my sketch, and it'll update the model. Now see the way it has a kind of a point on it there? We ideally want it to be nice and smooth, and to get rid of that smooth we try make our spline handles, anywhere there's an axis of symmetry or a revolve, an axis of rotation, we try our best to kind of make the spline handle of a spline be perpendicular to the axis of symmetry or axis of revolution. Okay, so in this case here I need to make it horizontal, so we'll be doing that quite a lot. Okay, right, I'm happy enough with that. I'll bring the sketch picture back in. Just noticing there it's not 100% bang on, so if I just double click on the sketch picture, I'm going to get it to purposely match up a little bit more with my model there. Okay, so that should be fine. Now next thing, we're going to do the stem. So the stem is, we're going to do the same thing, we're going to trace around the sketch picture and revolve it. Now I probably could have done the two of them in one, okay, but what I want you to do here is just I want to do it in two stages just for the sake of getting practice of doing two different sketches using a sketch picture. Could have done it all in one. Okay, so front plane, normal 2, sketch. Now I want to sketch a line. See the way sketch picture is not selected there? I'm just going to select the line because it's kind of like the convert entities thing. We have to kind of click to draw something first. Now you can see it's awake. I'll just show you again. Tool, if you can't have the icon there, tools, sketch tools, sketch picture. Okay. Oh no, sorry, we have our sketch picture in. Sorry, what am I even thinking? Right, okay, so I'm going to go down with a line, across horizontally with a line, and now I'm going to do a spline, a vertical line, which I'll do now. And you can see the picture's very pixelated there, so obviously for your project you need to be getting good quality pictures. Now the 2-point spline from here to here, and a 2-point spline from here, and I need to pick up a coincident point on the circumference of that base there. Okay. Last thing I want to do is convert entities. I need to get the bottom to completely mold to be the perfect fit or match of this cup here. So I need that portion of the curve there. Now I could trace around it with a spline, but I wouldn't get it 100% accurate. I need it to be bang on. So I'm going to go convert entities, select that, not the face there, but I'm going to try to pick up the line, green tick. Okay, and what I'll do is I'm going to trim this bit off here. Now we have a fully enclosed sketch. I'm going to manipulate the two spline handles. So remember, diamond does the angle. Now I'm not going to do vertical or horizontal here because my spline is not at the axis of revolution, so I probably don't need to do it there. Over here, this is going to be a weird one now because I'm going to have to, get this one right down here. This one I have to really sweep it in, and I might have to adjust the length of the spline itself to get it right. That looks quite good actually, and I'm going to drag this horizontal line over here. That's actually perfect. So I'm fairly happy with that there. As I said, we could, if you wanted, straight lines, we could just, in relation to the origin, we'll just call that 21, we'll round them up. The length of that line there, we'll say 50, 60. 72, should have been automatically 72. So each point on the spline, no, we've done that one already, sorry. This one will probably do the same, yeah, thought so. The top point here in relation to the origin, around that to 13, do 13.5. Maybe the height of it then, no, that's over defined. So what can move here? Okay, so the height of that line there, we make that 57.5. Okay, now everything's gone black except for the spline handles, which I'm happy enough to leave as is. Okay, end sketch, features, revolve boss base, and for the axis of symmetry we select the center line. Okay, now what I want to do here is merge result. I want this to be welded to the cup, the cup above it. Okay, so merge result, which is the default anyway. Great. Now, next thing I want to do is the wooden base. So we are down here at this stage. So a 70 by 140 base, and it has to be, the top of the base has to be coincident with the bottom of the cup. So we'll go front view, sorry, front plane. No, we're already normal 2 there. I'm going to do a center line here, as it's good practice. And I'll do a center rectangle, not in the midpoint. Okay, and what I want to do now is drag this point up coincident with that there. So now it's locked into that, and I can change the width. So we said it was 70 high by 140 wide. So 70 high by 140 wide. Okay, and it should pretty much match up with the sketch picture anyway. Okay, fully defined, grand. Now I'm going to extrude that mid plane. Both directions. I'm not going to merge a result here. 140. Okay, so it'll go 70 and 70. I don't want it to be merged because I don't want them to be welded together. Okay, now we're going to add these chamfers in, a 10mm distance chamfer, which is basically a 45-degree chamfer if it's 10 and 10. So we'll just, for the sake of it, click distance, and we're going to go with a symmetric because it's 10 by 10. If it was 10 by 5, I'd go with an asymmetric one, but I'm happy enough with that. So actually, do you know what I'll do there? Instead of selecting the lines, I'll just select all the top surface and then the 4 corners, like so. Green tick. Bear in mind, we should be renaming these as we go along. Now we're going to do the handles. Now the handles we're going to learn, so we've learned 2 new things there, the sketch picture and also how to use a spline. We're going to use a new thing now in a second called indent. But first what we're going to do is we're going to trace around the we're going to trace around the cup basically. Now what I want to do here is make sure the cup is in hidden detail mode. Okay, the reason being I need to see the inside profile of the cup. So we're going to start off on the front plane, as I said, sketch. I'll start off with a line here, just get the little lines done in, and another one there. I might just adjust it a wee bit. As I said, we don't have to be exact. And then after that it's just 4 splines. So we're going to trace the whole handle here. So I'm going to start with this big one here, a 2-point spline. What I want to do is I want it to go into the cup. I want it ending inside the cup. Okay, and I'm going to adjust the spline handle now to match. You'll see why I want it to go inside the cup in a second. So that looks about right there. I'll do the inside one now with another 2-point spline ending inside the cup. There we go. Maybe I need to bring this point down. Okay, that's fine. Now what I need to do is, because I'm going to do a boss extrude with this in a second, it needs to be closed off. It needs to be a closed profile. So I'll just, with a random line there, as long as it's gone inside the cup, close it off any way you want. Now, the smaller ones, 2-point spline, 1, 2, manipulate. Like so, and then the other one the same. Like so, and then we'll just close it off. Fully enclosed sketch. Now at this stage here, you know, you can just go to fully defined sketch if you want, and you're happy enough with everything. Watch what happens when you fully define the sketch. All entities in the sketch, or you can just go with selected entities. So what I'm going to try, I've never actually tried this, so I'm going to try the spline, but I'm not going to choose the spline handles. I'll just see what happens here. Fully define. Now see what it does, it adds on dimensions to everything and it fully blackens it out. Okay, so we could go back and we could round all them up if we wanted, etc. So maybe just try that when you're happy. But the spline handles, we still have a bit of flexibility about them, as you can see there, which is good. Okay, so I want to copy that sketch over. So mirror entities. I need a center line actually, don't I? That would help. Something to mirror them about. So mirror entities, select that there, mirror about, green tick, there we are, end sketch. Happy days. Right, so now what we'll do is we'll just go back to our normal 3D, sorry, color mode, and we will select that sketch there, features, extrude boss base, and we're going to go, I think it's 10 millimeters, and we're not going to merge here. Okay, I know the cups have to be part of it, they have to be welded. We'll do the welding part later, you'll see why in a second. And we'll go mid plane, I think it's 10, mid plane 10, do not merge result. Okay, so that's step 6 done. So we're on 7 now. Let me just finish this, green tick. Now at this stage I'm going to turn off my sketch picture because I don't need it anymore. We're done, like so. And you can see what's happening there, that we have the handles going inside the cup. Now what we want there is, and the reason I've done this is because we want to use the cup, because it's very hard to get the boss extrude to merge in a curved way to match the curvature of the cup. Okay, see the way there's like a kind of a curve in there. We want that to happen. That's very hard to achieve, to get that handle to merge right there perfectly with the curvature. So what we do is we get a bit of an overlap going here, and what we do then is we can use a solid object to trim another solid object. And if this solid object has the curvature on it, and this solid object is intersecting or going inside it, the other with the cutting tool, if you like, it's going to get a perfect kind of a match, right? We use a feature called indent. Now indent, now I've set it up there myself, but you have to go to insert, features. So there's loads of features in SolidWorks, so this is not the in features here, this is not the exhaustive list of features. There's more, insert, features, and we're looking halfway down roughly, indent. Now to explain what indent does, indent takes one object, a target body. Now the target body is the object that's been cut or indented. That's the handle in this case here. And the tool body is the thing that's doing the cutting. In this case it's the cup. So the cup is basically cutting the handle, using its own shape to cut the handle, but we have to make sure we tick cut here. You can see what it's doing here is it's showing that it's chopping it there into sections. So we'll just go green tick, but you have to make sure cut is ticked, otherwise it won't work. Now looks like nothing's happened, that's fine, it hasn't. So I'm going to do the other one now, insert, features, indent, target body is the thing that's being cut, that's the handle, tool body is the thing that's doing the cutting, that's the cup, and we tick cut, green tick. Once again it looks like nothing's happened, but it actually has. If we go up here now, we've a solid bodies folder, and we've got 9 things in it. Now the 9 things we have is handle 1, the little trimmed off bit there, see, that's what we've separated that part from the handle itself, so they're not one continuous body. There's the other bit down the bottom, there's the handle on that side, the other little bit, the base, the revolve, actually do you know what, the revolve, I didn't actually merge them, and then the shell. So I'm going to go back into the revolve, the second revolve there. Just want to check something, make sure you do this yourself. Yeah, sorry, I should have said merge result, we want them merged. There we are. Now we should have 8 bodies, I think. It didn't actually merge for some reason. That's unusual. So it's not actually merging. I don't understand why. I actually don't, because I got it to be a perfect kind of perfect merge. Let me just see this. I'm just going to pause the video for a second and see if I can sort this out. Okay, I'm not 100% sure why that happened. Usually that's a kind of a flawless thing, the merge result. It could be something to do with the convert entities curve there, that there could be a gap between them maybe or something, but I'm going to show you how we can combat that. So just at this moment, if these are 2 separate bodies appearing in your solid bodies folder, I'm just going to show you the new feature, the 4th feature. It's called combine. We're going to use it later anyway. So insert, features, and we're going to go to combine. And I'm going to select that body there and that body there, and I'm going to make sure add is ticked, and just there we go. So now we've 8 solid bodies. we have the bottom, the 4 little bits, and then that there. Okay, I'm not going to combine, going to do the same thing with the handles later, but first I need to do a bit of work here to get the handles in shape. We need to get rid of these 4 little sections here, so I'm going to hover over them in the solid bodies folder, right click and go to delete keep body. We want to make sure delete is ticked. No, we want to keep that one. Right click, delete keep body, right click, delete keep body, right click, delete keep body. So now we have the base, a handle, and the body of the cup. Okay, so now let's just come down here. So now we're going to combine the whole lot together, exactly like I did a second ago. Probably should have done all the combines now, but you look, insert, features, combine, cup body, handle, green tick. So now we have 2 bodies, the base, the wooden base, and the brass cup. Okay, when do we put the fillets in? That's at the end. Okay, next thing we're going to do is the nameplate on the front. This is what we're after here, and this can be a difficult sketch to get right, so I'm just going to click that surface, look normal to it, sketch, center line up the middle, like so. I'm going to go to center rectangle. Will I go to center rectangle? I could mess things up. Let's see, center rectangle, and I'll just roughly place it there. And what I'll do is I'm going to make it for construction, I think, and it's 100 wide by 40 high. Okay, in fact that center line there, I want to have a center line from here to here, right? The reason being, I want the center of that rectangle to be put on the midpoint of that line. There we are. I'm going to set it all to be for construction, so turn it off and turn it back on again, and I'm going to make it 100 wide by 40 high. So 100 wide by 40 high. Okay, now what I'm going to do is trace, I'm going to do a midpoint line here. I'm going to mirror that same midpoint line about the center line, so I just want to have all the same geometry. Same here, a midpoint line from there, mirror entities that about, actually don't, I should probably put another center line going across here. Mirror entities, that one there, mirror it about, that one there. Now in the corners I have these radius 6 quarter circles. It can be done with fillets, but I'm just trying a different way. So and that's going to be radius 6. And what is happening there? I'm going to, oh yeah, it automatically put that in for me there. So radius 6. Now what I want to do is drag that point up to that, drag that point to there, and I want to mirror that now twice. The arc, mirror it about center line, and mirror these two about the horizontal center line. And we have a fully defined and enclosed sketch. And your sketch, we're going to extrude boss base that to a depth of 2 millimeters. Do not merge result, because it's a different material. It's going to be made of brass, and we don't want to merge brass to wood. Now on that we're going to do a sketch. We're nearly there. We're on 28 minutes. Normal 2. So we want to put this in here. SolidWorks Legend 2020. So we're going to do sketch 2 center line. Now I'm going to do a center line up the middle again. I'm going to do midpoint lines here. So roughly there, I'm going to place a midpoint line. For some reason it won't lock into horizontal, but by Jesus I'll make it horizontal. There we go. Another midpoint line here. That one seems to be horizontal. I'll try to keep it the same length as that one. It's horizontal, grand, and I want to make them for construction, like so. Now there's some dimensions there, 14 between them. Okay, 10 and 10, and then 13. Okay, so 13 from the top, from the sides, 14 between them. Sorry. For some reason it's not working. I'll try that again. 10. And that's automatically 10 because it was a midpoint line. It's automatically going to do that. Now I'm going to make that point and that point to be vertically in line, and it's fully defined. I'm going to put a sketch, so we're going to go sketch of text on the curve. It's not a curve, it's a line, and we're going to write SolidWorks Legend. We'll do it in all capitals, SolidWorks Legend. We're going to center it, and we're going to have to use the document font to resize it. Let's see, did I put any? Step 9. No, I've no real. So we can just we just pick something that you like there. I'm gonna go Cooper. Let's see. We'll go with units. We'll go with just maybe 5.5. We'll see. SolidWorks Legend still not fitting in, so I'll just go back into font there. Maybe just choose 5, so it's nearly there. We'll go with 4.75, SolidWorks Legend. There we go. Grand. Now no, I'm going to delete line floor. I have to do this in 2 separate things. So A again, there, 2020, center it. It is centered, and we're going to go with, I think it was Cooper. And we went with 4.75. You could make that bigger if you wanted, because yeah, I think I will do that. It looks neater. We'll go with maybe 7. Yeah, that's grand. Green tick. Now what we want to do is extrude cut that. Select the sketch, extrude cut, and we're going in 0.5. 0.5. Just let my computer catch up there. It's taking a long time. The next thing we'll do then is put materials on it. So the cup has to be chromium plate, the base is going to be polished oak, and the base plate is polished brass. Okay, I've got some fillets to put on here first on the handle and the kind of the neck of the object. Radius 3, everything is radius 3, so I'll come up here, fillet 3. So the 2 circles here and the one here where the stem joins the cup, all of that face there, all of that face there, and then the ones on the back as well. So rather than having to select all the lines, we can just select all the face. It does everything. Catches all. And green tick. Okay, so now it's the materials. Chromium plate for the cup. Appearances, metal, chromium. So we want it to go onto the whole body. We want to go with brass then, polished brass for the name plate or the plate thing. Put it onto the whole body. And then we want to go with some sort of oak, polished oak for the base. So we need to go to organic, wood, oak, polished oak. Just drop it onto it. Do it onto the whole body. Okay, that's probably good enough for now. We could mess around with the grains and stuff like that, but we'll do that in a later video. If you wanted, we could make we could drop kind of maybe plastic. We could just go with low gloss plastic to make the text stand out a bit. I need to kind of zoom in here now. Let's see if this could take a little bit of work. Let's go with the full face there. Oh yeah, the extrude cut. Yeah, make sure you select extrude cut. Makes the text stand out a bit. That's grand, nearly there. What are we on? 35 minutes. The last thing we need to do is just the decal. So the decal, let's see, yeah, anyway, sorry, go in here, then we're going to the second option here, decal, add decal, browse, let's see, where have I think I have it on my desktop, decal, open. Now I wanted to go on to that there, it's going to come in weird, so I'm just going to go to a front view there. Now there's a couple of things we need to do, which I've just asked you to do before. We want to go to use decal alpha image channel, we want to go to mapping, we want to go to projection, see how this works out, current view, and what we have to do now, you can see it's kind of upside down, so I could drag it with the orange disc, or I could just type in 360 there. Let's see what happens. No, that done nothing. Let's try 180 again. Nope, that's not doing it. So actually mirror vertically, mirror horizontally. Now it seems to be the right way around. Resize it with one of the corner buttons, and we can just place it roughly in the middle, and we're happy with it. And that's it there. Now it is coming out in the back, and there was a setting, I can't remember for the life of me how to solve that, but I will figure it out in a future video. So that's pretty much it done. You could do yourself a nice what you call it, photorealistic image, and you get something there like that which looks great. Okay, so that's the end of that video. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next video. Thanks.